Hey guys, Peter Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Play Productions. I've already watched the Matrix Resurrections trailer just once. Really loved the original trilogy, all three of them for their own reasons. And I've been very curious to see how they're going to bring this back. Let's start looking at this a little bit. I'll just give you some knee-jerk reactions. First, I have to say that the look of the trailer reminds me of the way that Matrix Revolutions ended. It doesn't have that green look, and because remember there was a sun that was introduced. There was a big moment of the sunset, and so this color palette, even though it may not feel Matrixy like we're used to, it's appropriate. It feels like it uses the color tones that we ended the original trilogy with.
You seem particularly triggered right now. Can you tell me what happened?
So already there we see that this movie has really updated itself in the times. There's a reference to being triggered. That's kind of a phrase that we're much more familiar with now than we would have been when the original trilogy came out. So already they're going to be incorporating new and modern ideas and commenting on things that are more recent. So I appreciate that.
I've had dreams that weren't just dreams.
Okay, so should we go back and put that all in slow-mo? Let's see, is that Keanu Reeves? I don't think that is. Oh, okay. So back in the Matrix, I didn't get a sense of who that was. Oh well, I'm not going to super dissect this. That does not look like Keanu Reeves. I think probably what we're seeing here maybe is the one in Keanu Reeves being reborn in the Matrix, but the body that he's coming from might be cast with a different actor or something, and maybe he'll transition from being Keanu Reeves in the Matrix to looking like whoever this dude in the tank is. I don't know. Okay, I think that's Morpheus. Now that, I think she had a braid. Whoever that was. Oh, no, okay, so it's not a braid, but I don't think that's the original scene. I think what we're seeing in this is some recreations of moments from the original trilogy, which I don't know how I feel about that. I get why they're doing it, cyclical, and there's going to be a reincarnation motif, certainly, but I hope they don't repeat too much, you know. I definitely want something fresh and new. Okay, so does that look like reused footage from the original trilogy, or does that look like new stuff? I'm thinking that's new stuff, in which case, can't believe they got him to shave all that again. Morpheus, I think. Alright, so we can probably go back to normal speed now.
Am I crazy?
We don't use that word in here.
So I'm curious if Neil Patrick Harris is going to be an antagonist or an ally. My guess is that he is ultimately in service to the Matrix, that he's going to try and give Neo here some therapeutic advice that will keep him from discovering the truth again of the Matrix. But then again, that would be a strange way to go. I think that therapy is something that is much more embraced, and there's far less of a stigma today for therapy than maybe there used to be. And so I would be surprised if they would put a therapist in the antagonist role.
Hi.
Okay, so there's Carrie-Anne Moss, Trinity.
Have we met?
So it's interesting that they're kind of starting them from square one. I don't know if this is really the story that I wanted. What I really wanted was Matrix within a Matrix. I wanted us to discover that when spoilers for the third Matrix movie, jump out now, when they died at the end of the third one, that they actually woke up in the quote-unquote real world, or another layer of the Matrix or something like that. So I'm not, but I mean, once we knew the title was The Matrix Resurrections, I kind of suspected we wouldn't be getting that.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill
So I am not, I mean, just this is a side note. I'm not really a fan of this song being, I've heard this song used in trailers and so many things. I get that it's thematically appropriate for this franchise, you know, but I still could do without it. So he's seeing some weird stuff going on that looks just a little bit suspicious, could be normal, maybe not. Now, I love this. I mean, now he seems to be, I was trying to figure out what is going on in this shot. I think there's just a mirror up there, and so we're supposed to be seeing, you know, it's not like two people standing on top of each other. I think they're just using the mirror motif again. But again, we've got all these people look on their smart devices. They're plugged into the Matrix kind of in a different way. Even within the Matrix, they themselves are just totally immersed in their devices instead of truly being connected to each other. And so I just appreciate them playing up that aspect of modern society, and wonder if they'll have some interesting, maybe even valid and useful things to say on that front. So I do think it's interesting. You know, I suspected that Keanu Reeves would be keeping his current look that he's been known for in movies recently, of, you know, longer hair and the beard and stuff. But I mean, that cap, that's even like something that Keanu Reeves was known to wear just privately, and as you know, we'd see like in the making of the original Matrix trilogy, I'd see him wearing a cap like that. So he seems to be really settled into his personal comfort zone. I'm wondering how much training he would have had to do to get ready for this, how demanding this role is going to be for him this time around, both because of his age, frankly, and then also because, you know, he's a big star. He doesn't have as much to prove or to earn in the world of Hollywood, and so I wonder if he just kind of wouldn't want to go into this as hard as the original trilogy. I don't know. So Alice in Wonderland, playing with that motif. I wonder if this gal here is supposed to be a reincarnation of, what was her name? The Oracle. The Oracle. That's kind of my bet here. When she's 10 feet tall. Oh, that's weird. There was a shot of, I didn't notice that before, a shot of what looks like younger Neo, like from the first movie, in the background. And then I think he's standing in front of a mirror here. So this is probably a pivotal scene where he's similar to the mirror scene of the first Matrix movie, where he's just discovering the reality of the Matrix. And that, I'm trying to figure out, that doesn't look like just a CGI aged up Keanu Reeves. So who is he supposed to be? What is this supposed to represent? Is this in some way representing the fact that the One has been reincarnated many times and this is the face of a previous incarnation? That's my leading theory at this point. And now Morpheus has been reincarnated and recast. It's interesting that they would recast the character instead of have Lawrence Fishburne come back. I was going to say, given that Carrie-Anne Moss comes back, but there's probably something unique about Trinity and Neo, and that would make sense of them coming back and looking like themselves instead of bringing back Lawrence Fishburne. Maybe this is supposed to, in movie land, be a young Lawrence Fishburne, you know? Maybe what we're supposed to be seeing here is the original Morpheus. Like when they recast a character and they just ask audiences, just pretend that this person is always, that there's no change in their appearance. I'm wondering if we're supposed to pretend that, or if in the canon of the story, Morpheus has been reincarnated in a different body. I don't know. It'll be interesting to find out eventually the reasoning for some of the recasting, how much of it is actually related to the story and the original vision of what they want to do, and how much of it is on a meta level, you know, like this actor wasn't available, this actor wasn't interested, or wanted more money, or blah, blah, blah.
Time to fly.
So again, he's given him the pill here, and I don't know how much patience I'm going to have for waiting for Neo to wake up. I really hope that they race through this part, like in the first 20 to 30 minutes. 20 would be preferable. because we've seen the story of Thomas Anderson discovering that he's in the Matrix already.
The only thing that matters to you is still here.
So, yeah, this is Carrie-Anne Moss. So there was a little bit of code coming off of Carrie-Anne Moss there.
That's why you're still...
Yeah, what's this about here?
You don't know me. No?
And that is the first sign of what I suspected was going to be the case in this movie, that this time around, Neo was going to be functioning more like a wizard. He's not going to be doing... I mean, we see him in this trailer doing some kung fu and stuff like that, but I think it makes sense for two reasons that he'll be more like a wizard. One, the age of the actor. I mean, you just can't ask an actor to do the same things that they did 20, 25 years ago. And secondly, I think that hopefully they would recognize that we want to see the character advance. We want to see him move forward in his power. And so I think the next logical step is for him to function more like a wizard, someone who, without even engaging his body in it, can do what he wants and bring about what he wants in the Matrix. Okay, so this rooftop looks very much like the rooftop that the helicopter scene took place on in the original Matrix. So I mean, that looks cool, but it also has like something CG-ish about it. And I think that the CG actor replacement in this movie will certainly look better than what they did in The Matrix Reloaded and in The Matrix Revolutions. But I've always been sad after the first movie that they leaned on actor replacement in stunt scenes with CG characters, because I have an eye that's cursed to pick it out. And so I think that this movie is just going to visually not be the revolution that that all three of the first movies were stylistically, but in terms of visually, the visual fidelity of those bullet time moments in the first movie, even as much as things have improved, I think I'm going to still prefer how they accomplished those effects with actors practically and with a huge amount of cameras set up in that first movie. So again, we're retracing these moments, and yeah, I just I don't know. I mean, I think it could still be cool. I think the fight choreography is going to be new, but I'm just wondering how impatient I'm going to be with them getting through some of these things. Or maybe it's going to be through the whole movie that they're going to be redoing things from the first movie or the first three movies. So, I mean, he's still doing some kung fu there. It doesn't look... So far, what I'm seeing in this trailer just isn't the revelation that that first movie was. Now that, I think, is Carrie-Anne Moss. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Carrie-Anne Moss. Trinity. And then she's got some kind of whacked out thing going on. So she's going to be doing some kung fu. We saw just very briefly there her doing a couple of punches and kicks and stuff. Yeah, there she goes. Yeah, and I don't know what this weird effect is, but I wouldn't mind seeing Trinity kind of grow in her powers as well. Oh, okay, so that looked like a moment of discovery for Morpheus. So that makes me wonder, okay, how much of this time period are we going to cover? Is this just a little flashback and he's going to be narrating over this, and this is him, what they show us while he's telling Neo his origin story? I don't know. I think I did hear a long time ago that this movie was going to focus more on Morpheus, but that's not what we're seeing in the trailer, unsurprisingly. I think even if it is a movie that really focuses on Morpheus, that this early they want to excite us with seeing the original actors that are coming back. But I do wonder if this might not be a really Neo and Trinity-focused story, despite what we're seeing in this trailer. I mean, that looks cool, running on the wall there, but I also feel like, well, we've seen this in Inception, we've seen this kind of thing in other movies. You know, the original trilogy kicked off a couple decades of movies that gave us some visuals and action that really were like nothing we'd ever seen before. And what I'm just kind of accepting now as I see this trailer, and as I had suspected before watching this trailer, is that this movie just in general is not going to be for this generation what the original Matrix was for that generation of movie watchers. Yeah, see, that looks very standard movie CGI stuff to me. That's cool. I mean, again, it's kind of a recycled trick. I would really like to see Neo doing some brand new things that he's never done before. Was he just getting ready to snap his fingers? That's what it looked like. Maybe that's a new power that we almost saw. Yeah, that looked like he was maybe about to snap his fingers, but I could be wrong. And there, he is clearly taking control of that rocket and flinging it into the side of the building instead of hitting them. And yeah, that's the kind of wizardy type stuff that I suspect or hope that we'll see a lot more of from Neo.
After all these years.
No flying, though, unless that's what's going to happen at the end of that moment.
Going back to where it all started.
Now, see this? It almost looked like it was in the same therapy office, but instead he's talking to this guy, so I'm wondering if we're being tricked a little bit here, like that shot of Neo is not him sitting and talking to this guy, but is in the therapy office, and this guy is talking to somebody else here.
Back to the Matrix.
I mean, who knows? He could be talking to, like, Agent Smith or something. Well, I'm trying to think if Hugo Weaving is even going to be in this one. I think he might be. They'll maybe save that for another trailer. Yeah, and that's it. So I don't have, at this point, any sense of the themes they're going to play with. The first three movies were rich in themes and represented, honestly, a lot of broken worldview stuff, a lot of philosophy that ultimately collapses in on himself, which the Wachowskis were into at the time for whatever reason. But you know, now both of them have transitioned and had surgery so that they can live as women instead of men, and I can only imagine how radically their lives have changed and how they see the world has changed. And this is just one of them. This is just Lana Wachowski that is directing this film. But, you know, this is a director that has been through a lot. And so it really makes me wonder, okay, what are the themes going to be in this movie? What's the worldview perspective that's going to be driving those themes? Unfortunately, I don't see any hints of that at least yet in looking at this trailer. I might spend a little bit more time looking at it and picking over it. I don't know. Honestly, I'd rather not. I am not really into mining trailers and stuff for all the data I can. I just want to go and see movies once I get a sense of what they are, and hopefully enjoy being surprised by them. So Matrix Resurrections comes out December 22nd. I am thinking of, in the meantime, reviewing the first three movies in this franchise. I haven't totally decided to do that, but if you let me know in the comments that you'd like to see that happen, or if you just put a like on this video, I'll count that as a vote to go in that direction and to review those three movies. I would be interested in seeing how I feel about them today. It's been a while since I watched them. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Hey guys, Christian Geek Central is launching our Game Save event for the first time this year, and I would love for you to be a part of the 2021 Game Save team. As a member of the team, you will be raising funds for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital throughout October by telling friends, family members, or co-workers about your fundraising, and if you like, doing some kind of game-related event, like a game night at your home or church, or like me, you can do a crazy 24-hour video game marathon. As your team leader, I'll provide tips and resources to make your fundraising as fun, easy, and effective as possible. For more information about the event or how to sign up, check out the links to some helpful videos below. You can also leave a comment or email me at paeter@spiritblade.com with any questions. I cannot wait to get this started. Would love for you to join me. Thanks.